Hi guys, this is contestant number 1290. Here I am washing my hands with hot soapy water. And now we're going to be washing and cleaning our station with hot soapy water, hot water, and our sanitizing solution spray. The 5 different names of the carrot cuts that I did are the Brunoise, the medium dice, a large dice, the baton, and the julienne. Next up, you're going to see me cutting the chicken part. And then this part, we're cutting the drumsticks, breaking the bones so it can be easier to cut. As you can see, I'm working my knife and taking the heart. Next up, I'm going to make a precision cut to remove the chicken thigh and the leg. Again, I'm cutting it, breaking the bones to make sure I can get a nice and easy cut. Here I'm removing it. Next up, we're going to work on the airlines and the chicken wings. We're going to find the bone to make a precision cut so we don't waste any of the chicken product. Next up, we're going to do the same thing to this side, find the bone and make a cut. Yet again, precision cut and remove it. Next up, you're going to be seeing me use the wishbone and cutting it. Find the wishbone, cutting it, and make sure to get as much of the chicken breast out as I possibly can. As you can see, I removed the chicken breast on one side, flipping it around, finding the wishbone, and going to the other side, making sure precision cuts to ensure that I remove as much of the meat as possibly can. Here you're going to be seeing me finally create a line so I can make a perfect cut to remove the last chicken breast from the carcass. And voila, both of the chicken breasts are out. Next up, we're going to remove the tenderloins from both sides to ensure that the breast is a nice, perfect, juicy cut. We're going to place our chicken breast to the side and the carcass while we work on removing the chicken thigh from the drumstick. Here I'm finding a bone to make a precision cut, and voila, it's simple as that. Remove the excess skin that we don't want. We're doing the same thing with the other side, finding the bone, finding the place where to cut. I found it. With a clean swoop of cut, it's done. Next up, we're going to be working with the chicken wings, making sure I can find the cuts, removing the excess skin that we don't want, finding the bone. Once I find the bone, I make the cut. Easy, nice and easy, clean cut. Next up, we're going to do the same thing with the other side. We're going to make a cut, removing this skin, because no one wants excess skin. Find the bone. Found the bone with a nice, simple, clean cut. Here I'm going to be showing you the clean cuts of my chicken. Next up, we're going to take all of our dirty dishes and take it to the sink and wash it so no salmonella, so no one can get infected with the salmonella. We're going to be taking the cutting board to our dish line, making sure that it's cooked. Next up, we're going to be calibrating a thermometer. The thermometer needs to be calibrated at 32 degrees Fahrenheit for a nice, perfect read on our chicken breast, which needs to be cooked at perfectly 165. Here you're going to be seeing me turning on the flame, adding into the pan, adding to a stainless steel pan. We're going to be adding olive oil, making sure it gets nice and hot. Here we're going to be grabbing our chicken breast, making sure it is hot. We're going to be doing the skin side down to ensure that a nice, perfect sear gets on the chicken. We give it about 30 seconds on each side. We wait a little bit, and then we flip it around to ensure that the other side isn't nice and seared. We're going to be doing a pan-seared chicken, and then afterwards, we're going to be putting it in the oven. The chicken is seasoned with salt, pepper, lemon pepper, paprika, and garlic salt. Here we are, flipping it one more time, getting the other side perfectly seared, just like the way I wanted it to be. Again, flip it again for a nice sear. Sear the sides, making sure that it's right. Here we are. We're going to be walking over to our ovens that are specifically designed for our meats. The oven was set to 340 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm going to be pulling it out after 15 minutes in the oven, making sure to check the temperature, because yet again, we need it to be a perfect 165 on the inside. And here, as you can see, it's perfect to 165. Next up, we're going to be adding shallots and garlics to our pan to deglaze our pan, making sure that it's nice and hot so it can be perfectly deglazed. Next up, we're going to be moving it around to ensure that it releases its nice and delicious aromas. Next up, we're going to be turning on the heat just a little bit to add our chicken stock to it. As you can tell, it's nice and hot, the pan, because it's simmering and boiling already. Next up, we're going to be letting it sit for a while to ensure that it comes to a boil, so most of the liquid gets reduced. We're going to be adding a block of butter, just for that hint of the deliciousness. Next up, we're going to be moving it around, making sure that it gets nice and evenly dispersed. We're going to be turning down the heat for a little bit so it doesn't go over. We're going to be adding a little bit of lemon juice to it to give it that nice citric and deliciousness to the sauce. This is a chicken piccata style sauce, so it goes perfectly with our chicken. Here we're going to be killing the heat, and we're going to be cutting the chicken, demonstrating that it's perfectly cooked to the right temperature that it needs to be. Here I'm making quick precision cuts, ensuring to show the camera that it's perfectly cooked. We're going to be adding the sauce all over the chicken, ensuring that it's nice and evenly coated. Delicious. We're going to be adding a little bit of a garnish to it. We're going to be adding a lemon peel twist on top. Here I'm going to be twisting it, putting it on top. Perfect. But I'm going to also be adding parsley just to give it a little bit of touch of freshness and perfectly. And here's my chicken, guys.